Hello and good morning, good afternoon, good day, good evening, good night, and all possible salutations and greetings. Welcome to the Save It for the podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Neiman, and joined with me today is...
It's Aaron. Hello.
Not Giorno. It is Aaron.
Not Giorno yet.
Oh,
You know,
yes.
we're still going through the process. Oh gosh.
Yeah, we're still trying to get contact him, so...
Yeah, there you go.
Popular
Hopefully he'll respond soon, but you know, you never know.
Gets a lot of fan letters, so...
Hey Neiman.
Yes.
The heck is going on? Because as soon as you started recording, as soon as you started the intro, the right side of my face just drooped up, you know? I can't, it's painful and it hurts and I cannot, control it properly at this point. So it's
Interesting.
am I actually having a stroke right now? Like a heart attack or something like that?
You know, it could be, as we've mentioned before on this podcast, it could be God trying to give you signs.
Yeah, there you go.
About
this podcast exists despite God. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Gosh. My voice is breaking too. Jeez. Are you seeing this actually? Like, we only run into these problems as we start recording.
It's very strange. It's very strange.
Yeah, there you go. And in this episode of the Save It for the podcast, Aaron enters cardiac arrest as Neiman's head explodes.
Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it, Aaron.
Don't jinx it. It's gonna happen. We know.
Yeah, it's bound to happen.
Yeah, there you go.
One point or another.
I really like how this implies that since we're Gen Z, we're accepting the possibility of, going into cardiac arrest and our heads exploding. Which is accurate.
Yeah, I mean, it can happen to anyone.
Can happen
even to the best of us.
There you go. I heard a rumor. Anyway, yeah, it is boiling here in South California.
Yeah, everyone's turning into gas because we're all boiling.
Gosh, oh my god, it's a turn of it's like a usage of word. It's like a shut up. Oh my god.
An idiom? Yeah. Or I guess in this case
what
it'd
did
be
you
hyperbole. What'd you call me?
Oh man, I'm so funny. It's so funny, bro. It's so funny. All right.
Although it is technically the correct English term is hyperbole is what we were using. Boiling is a hyperbole if we want to get real specific, but I'm not an English major.
Exaggeration. So. That's the word I was looking for.
Yes. Yes, that works too.
I was like, it's something with eggs, but I don't know what.
Eggs. Eggs Benedict? Scrambled eggs?
Benedict? Cumberbatch? Cucumber? Cum dump? All right, no.
Wow. That train of thought was beautiful. Beautiful train of thought.
And of course, what I said is spelled COMEDUMP and not the other thing, which we're not allowed to say in this episode, or else there shall be punishment. Haha, Christ averted.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
For there is no other insinuation of that phrase whatsoever.
No.
Yeah.
Let's move past this.
Yeah.
Moment.
That's just that's how we get from...
Netflix, shut up, please. I don't need you right now. Later, maybe.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Netflix does offer some great selections.
Yeah. It's telling me that Legend of Korra is now on Netflix.
It is now on Netflix, which I'm so I just watched it on an illegal site. So if I had just waited a couple more weeks, I could have watched it.
You know, not gonna lie, this actually gives me more incentive to watch Legend of Korra.
You should.
Because usually the reason I don't watch most of the shows is a combination of it not being not really interesting me, along with, me pirating the show instead of actually watching it legally. And like for that reason, Legend of Korra just didn't have the incentive for me to,
Mm-hmm.
get out of my way to like go through, a bunch of sites, casually get a virus or two. And like,
Oh yeah,
I just
yeah.
didn't want to do that. And now I'm kind of thinking, I actually might start rewatching it, and like continue on with it maybe.
You
And
should.
yeah,
There
I
was
should.
a. I wanted. There was a another thing that I wanted to bring up last week in our lovely and fruitful debate over
Oh my goodness.
romantic relationships in
My
Avatar.
okay,
Um,
my dad actually was afraid to come into my room and like ask me what was going on. So like by the time I like went out of my room to get like a yogurt or something, I like my dad came up to me and was like, "Were you arguing with your friends?" Like, I mean, you were like punching your table, and I'm like really concerned. And
oh my God, that's so funny.
yeah, it is. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
No,
Lovely
I
and
was just
fruitful
saying
discussion last week.
a
Yeah,
fruitful discussion. There was more that I wanted to bring up, specifically what happened in Korra, but it was very, I guess, spoilery.
right.
But it was kind of in the same vein of what we were talking about last week. So I didn't want to bring it up because I wasn't sure if you were still going to watch it or not. So, and also for the
Uh,
viewers. So,
I mean, I don't really mind actually, like spoilers and whatnot. Although, like, I respect that. Thank you.
of
Um,
course, of course.
yeah. So we're not allowed to talk about Legend of Korra just yet because one, I haven't watched it, and two, you have watched it, but I want to watch it now. Um, Gosh, there are so many things I need to watch. Damn it.
Same here. Same here.
I still need to finish season 2 of Kipo. I'm still like not caught up on Critical Role. Oh my goodness.
It's a handful. It takes a while
It takes a
to
while. And
get through
considering every
things.
single Critical Role episode is like 4 hours, like jeez.
Dang.
Yeah, dude, there are 100 episodes.
They're all like hours
Like
long.
there are actually more than 100 episodes at this. Yeah, they're like at the very least they're like 2.5 hours. Like,
Dang.
and I'm like making this up at this point. I have nothing to prove that there's actually an episode that's 2.5 hours. Okay, because as far as I'm concerned, every single episode is like 3.5 to 4 hours long.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
Impressive.
so it's
Do
like,
you usually sit through the entire thing in one sitting, or do you usually take it in
I mean,
chunks?
it's more of a podcast,
Right,
really.
right.
Like, I often like skip the breaks and go to the, like
Juicy bits.
the only time I actually like full on watch it is during the break time, where I skip all the, advertisements. Even though they're all pretty good advertisements, I like skip over them because they're made independently and not, from an executive board. Instead, they're actually creative and, interesting to watch.
Mm-hmm.
This is in fact a call out post. Anyway, yeah, I just skip over to the what's it called? The fan art? The fan art. Yeah, there we go. I was like the fan drawings? No, that sounds wrong. Fan art, fan art. There we go.
Yeah.
And yeah, I like because there are so many cool things about it, and it's like it's D&D. So
Yay!
it pleases my geek side, you know?
Oh, I'm glad it does. I'm glad it does.
This implies that I have a side that isn't a total fucking geek. Oh, damn it. Gosh
My
darn it.
goodness. Here we go again, having to mark another episode as
Hold on.
explicit.
Okay.
Like I
I mean,
haven't already.
all our episodes are marked as exclusive, but gosh darn it. Damn it. It was going so good. And
It
it's not even
was
10 minutes yet. Oh my gosh.
my good. Where did my phone go? It's,
Oh
phone.
my goodness.
Huh, interesting. I'll find it later.
Well-oiled
Um.
machine. We're completely prepared.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
100%.
100%. Yeah, there we go.
Oh yes,
I
yes,
finally
yes,
have
yes.
enough ingredients to start making brownies once again.
You finally have enough ingredients? Were you
Yeah, I
waiting
was like,
for?
I was like waiting, and I was, pretty lazy and whatnot. Oh gosh, oh my gosh, what is going on? Okay,
You asked God.
my voice cracked. I choked and I burped at the same time. How is
Dang.
that? Excuse me. My tea
It's
attacked me.
the malevolent forces of the universe
Yeah, there you go.
are
In the form
attacking
of
you
tea.
in the form of tea. That's how they've manifested today.
There we go. I've been drinking cardamom tea and kombucha recently.
Yeah.
It like helps, just to like, mostly make me smell not as bad as usual, I guess, because I actually have to live with, you know,
Oh, you
my
live with
poor
other
choices
people?
now.
Oh.
Huh? No, I
Oh, you
actually
said
need to
live with.
live with my choices now. Yeah.
Oh, you said live with your choices in the
Yeah.
metaphoric sense. Okay.
Not in a metaphoric sense, no. Like whenever I eat dried meat, I actually need to, deal with my
Yes, yes, yes,
room
yes.
smelling like, like a pig's nest or something like that. So it's like,
Interesting.
yeah.
Okay. I got you. When you started that sentence with live with, I assumed it was going to be about like living with other people. But now I understand the phrasing you were using
Right,
and
yeah.
your syntax. So
Because I'm stuck in my house. Yeah, there we go. My
aren't
goodness.
we all?
So what's up
Aren't
with
we
you,
all?
Neiman? How are you doing these days?
I'm doing fairly well.
Nice.
Um, I had yesterday I had a sudden urge to clean.
Get up and dance.
I mean that those happen frequently
Oh
too.
yeah.
I mean, I do that all the time before I wash the dishes. It's how I get hyped for dishes, right? Because they usually take me so long. Um,
My gosh.
so I usually do like a pre-wash dance. I think it helps. You
Nice.
should try it. You should
Dude,
try
I
it.
do that all the time. Like there's like a comfy chair right there, right? And it's all puffy and it's like leaned back and all that stuff. And it's like I'd be sitting on it and I all of a sudden have this like energy just burst in me and I'd be like, okay, what do I want to do with this?
Yeah,
Because like
yeah.
it essentially makes me stand up and I have no idea what my ADHD mind is going to make me do now. Like it's anything from like shadow boxing to just like, ballerina dancing or something like that. So, it's a wide range, it's a wide spectrum.
Yes, quite
Yes.
so, quite so.
There we go.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, I've been doing fine. I am on in the works of finishing a show titled Midnight Gospel. We're not sponsored by them,
Interesting. Not
but
sponsored. Not
uh,
sponsored at all. No sponsors.
no
No.
sponsors. Uh, we so actually the cool thing about Midnight Gospel is first off, it's on Netflix. It's
Not
by
sponsored. Still.
not sponsored still. Um, like every time that we have to say not
Yeah.
sponsored every time we
Not
mention a
sponsored.
brand,
Yeah,
right?
there we go. Did we
Um,
ever get like an angry email from someone?
we've not
Did we
we've
even
not
check our
received.
email? Wait, I just I just had a panic moment.
I mean, I hooked up the email to my email, and so my personal email, and so if we had
Right.
received something, probably would have known by now. But it doesn't hurt to check again.
Yeah.
Um, However, Midnight Gospel, it's by Pendleton Ward. So that's the guy who made Adventure Time.
Right. Oh my
Um,
gosh. Wait. Is this a cartoon or a actual
it
show?
is a cartoon. You
Right.
might have
I
seen a few clips
Yeah,
of
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they had this huge like hype thing a couple months ago. I think it came out in April. Um,
Mhm.
but it's the best way to describe the show would be like listening to a podcast on acid. Um, because the dialogue
Oh
is.
my gosh.
Are you looking at?
I'm currently looking up a bunch of like Google Images pics and it actually looks like a podcast on acid. It
It
looks
it
okay. It looks like Steven Universe on acid.
it is. None of what you see makes any sense, but
No, not, not at all.
what makes the show great though
Right.
is the fact that the so interesting tidbit about the show. It's actually
Hmm.
based on a real life podcast uh, by one of the co-creators, Duncan Trussell, who has his own podcast titled, also not sponsored, Duncan Trussell's Family Hour, I think is the full title. And it's a podcast. It's about Duncan Trussell, who's a host, comedian, and he interviews various people about mostly philosophical things, very
Nice.
kind of just like how to live life, very mellow podcast. And he's a great, he's a really funny guy and really genuine guy too, which is really
Very
nice.
nice.
And
Very nice.
so I've been watching this show. It's one of those shows you can't binge watch because if
Hmm.
you really want to digest it, it's something you have to watch in little
If you really want to soak
segments.
it in, you have to be high on weed and doing 50 push-ups while you're eating a whole box of Dunkin' Donuts. All right.
Yes,
Yeah,
all
there you
those
go.
things. Yes, all those
As
things.
soon as you said Dunkin', like here's the thing, right? My brain isn't like pre-wired to think about like American names yet. So as soon as you said Dunkin', my mind went to Dunkin' Donuts.
Isn't Dunkin' Donuts American though?
It is, but the brand is more memorable than the name.
I suppose you're right. I
Yeah,
suppose
there you
you're right.
go. Yeah,
I
that's
know I
what I
haven't met
thought.
a lot of Dunkins in my life.
I
So
know, right? My gosh, Dunkins are like the rare name, the rarer names, you know?
yeah,
They're like one of the they're like one of the rarer names that happen to be casual. What am I talking about? I need to close my window. It's too much heat in here. I already drank like a piping hot tea. It's like,
yeah, you did.
my gosh.
Aaron is closing his window. Now he's moving about. He's adjusting stuff in his room, and I'm still narrating.
What's that?
I was just filling the void with
Right, there we
with
go.
words.
Yeah, I was just turning on the AC because my gosh. Jeez, it's like my like it's like my brain wants me to get a heat stroke or something like that. Like it's 90 degrees. I'm drinking hot tea while the window is open, letting even more heat inside. Like
It
I'm
really
dumb.
do be
I'm
like
dumb.
that.
It's like I think we've already established that. I'm a big old dumb dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which,
Speaking of dumb,
speaking of dumb, yeah, exactly. Actually, as a fellow Terraria player,
yes,
I would like you to give me a verbal smackdown
please.
because I've done a oopsie.
Have you?
Yeah, so my new character is in hard mode finally. Um,
Yay.
yeah, there we go. You
The
know.
expert mode or master
Oh
mode?
no, no, I'm just playing like casual at this point. Like
Okay.
I don't want to be too stressed out, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because I've already like signed up for new semester classes, and it's like even that is.
Right. Right.
Oh, by the way, you haven't heard. Now I'm no longer a business administration major. I'm a political science major.
Woo! Are you
Woo!
excited about that?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna create a new political party. I'm gonna call it the Himbo Party.
Do it.
Yeah, there you go.
Do it. Yeah. Well, good for you. Are you
Taking America back to its roots, being loud and dumb and nice and kind. Yeah,
wow, those are all it's one big oxymoron.
shut up. What did you call me? Excuse me? Yeah.
Man, why do all of these English phrases sound like insults?
I have no idea. Anyway,
Such a
you were saying,
personification.
oh my gosh. But you were saying something. I think ask it like
And I was just saying, good for you.
nice.
Are you satisfied with what kind of drew you to? I guess is my question. What drew you to political science as your
I'm loud
new
and dumb,
major.
and therefore it makes me perfect for office.
Great,
Yeah, there
great.
you go. Like, I can't run for president. Oh well, who cares? Still gonna make
Okay, you
life
don't need the
hell.
president. You
I'm
don't
still
need the
gonna make life hell for everyone around me,
Do
as a
it.
president should. Yeah.
Yeah. You could be the next AOC.
No, she actually makes things better. I don't want that. No, I want to mess everything up. I
Oh, you
want to
want to make things
absolutely wreck.
worse?
I want to absolutely ruin this country. Pollution for everyone.
Yay!
Socialized pollution.
Capitalism. Yay!
Oh my goodness.
Make
Um,
pollution free.
yeah, make pollution free. Oh my gosh, these freaking the radical left wants to socialize pollution. They want to make the right side actually face the consequences of pollution. What the frick? That might actually
Disgusting.
make us give a damn about global warming and climate change. No,
You.
you. But yeah, um, we were discussing Terraria actually.
We were. We
Yeah, there you
were.
go.
Please
Yeah, make America
continue
himbo.
so I may
Yeah,
conduct my
verbally
smackdown.
smackdown. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the himbo party, the Make America himbo again, and we'll have to wait.
We'll have to
Um,
wait a
yeah,
couple
it
years down
it
the
will
road.
have to
We'll
wait
see.
for a couple of years. However, so I was just playing, and I had just entered hard mode, and I
Hmm.
was like, I tried to do a sort of like speed through by like getting cobalt and then getting mithril and then getting
Hmm.
adamantite because my luck is crap and I never get titanium.
Oh, I
And
know.
yeah,
It's
unfortunately,
rough.
but I was like kind of doing the speed through, kind of like going along with it, and I got a drop, which was, I can't remember the exact name of it right now, but it was essentially like an enhanced beam sword,
Mm.
right?
Hmm.
And it
Yeah.
was better than Knight's Edge. And so I was like,
Yes.
I'm gonna use this for now. And like it turns out it's actually better than adamantite swords as well. So even though I'm going for like a mage playthrough and I already found like a frost.
The
No,
frost
it was an
staff?
ice rod, I
Oh, ice
think,
rod.
or an ice
Yes.
staff.
Yeah.
And it's actually pretty good because it's like automated too.
Mm.
So
Hmm.
like you can like
Hold
just
down the
hold down the
mouse. Yeah.
button
That's
and it
nice.
just like fires and it's super good. Like imagine the green fella from the twins,
Hmm.
like with his like fire and whatnot. Imagine that except blue. Like that's what I
Oh,
have right
yes. Yes,
now.
yes, yes.
And it's so good.
It's very good. Yeah.
So yeah, and I didn't really care about the sword and I was like selling a bunch of stuff in my inventory, clearing it up. And then I noticed that I don't have the Knight's Edge anymore.
Did you
And I
sell it?
checked. I might have accidentally sold it.
This is the equivalent of throwing diamonds in the lava.
I know.
Aaron, my
I know.
goodness.
I know. Listen, my only regret is that I have to create a new world and find the Muramasa all over again.
Yeah.
And it's gonna suck. And I like that's my only regret right
Yeah.
about now. And like
See,
I don't even care. I don't like. I have like a bunch of golden keys stockpiled, but it's just so much labor, and I just
yeah.
wasted Night's Edge, and it sucks.
SMH.
Oh
SMH.
gosh.
For any listeners listening, let me
Yeah,
explain why this is such a dilemma, right?
yeah. Can you open
Uh,
up your gain just a bit? By the way,
what's that?
can you open up your gain just a bit?
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah,
Um,
I can already tell I'm gonna have to like do a little bit of finagling with the sound
tweaking,
because it's
yes.
gonna sound a bit stuffy, I guess. So yeah,
From my end, or
for like generally.
yes.
Like that's why I actually turned up my gain as well. Not just
Oh, I
yeah.
see. I see.
Even the sorry about the air conditioning voices in the background, but yeah. So yeah,
That's okay,
thank you,
because
thank you.
it's better that we're not sweating our balls off.
Too late. We're already doing
And
that. Yeah, there
oh
we go. Oh my
yes,
gosh,
yes,
like a wave of coolness just hit me, and it was the most best thing ever.
the most best thing
The
ever.
most best thing
Air
ever, bro.
conditioning.
Air
Get yours
conditioning.
today
Yeah, there you go.
for only $9.99.
For
Only was
sure.
that cheap.
If only,
Um,
if only. But yeah, please
so
verbally
Night's
smack
Edge.
down. Yeah. So Night's Edge. Yeah.
So Night's Edge. Basic rundown. It's supposed to be a sword that contains all of the in so
Like
before we even denote that, so there's pre-hard mode and hard mode, right? Are the two, I guess, game states of
yeah.
Terraria,
Game stages more. Yeah.
stages, um, and hard mode, like the name implies, is supposed to be the harder of the two. It's supposed to
Yeah.
be kind of post. It's after you defeat this certain boss in
Yeah.
the underworld,
We
and
can
then the
say
world
it. It's general
changes.
knowledge. It's literally
Um,
on the wiki. The Wall of Flesh. You defeat the Wall of Flesh.
yes, the Wall of
Yeah.
Flesh.
In
Yeah, honestly,
hell.
I don't know how you
Literally.
can play Terraria without looking at the wiki.
Yeah, dude.
Um,
It's.
but
I pity the poor soul who tries.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Um, but essentially, the Knight's Edge is the combination of the four swords that you get in pre-hard mode.
Yeah.
There's like a fire one. I can't remember the specific names. There's
The Hell Sword. I think.
Yeah, it's like hell or fire or something
Yeah.
sword. So there's
I have
this
no
big
idea.
fire sword. There's this which you can only get from the underworld by getting components from the underworld.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got this grass sword from the
The Blade of
jungle.
Grass.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got the, as Aaron has mentioned, the Muramasa, which is supposed to be like the water, I guess, sword if we're
I
going the
guess.
thematic, you
I
know.
mean, I think it's more supposed to be yeah, water works. I mean, you get like,
Yeah, I put that
other
in
water.
quotes.
Yeah, I mean, you do get other water-based like items from the dungeon as well. So it's like, yeah,
Yeah,
you get it from the dungeon after you defeat Skeletron and you're actually allowed to go into the dungeon without perishing.
that's
So
right.
yeah.
One of my first mistakes as a Terraria player.
Oh boy.
My goodness. That was
What?
one of the scariest moments as a child. In all honesty, I think I was probably 11 or 10 the first
Oh
time
my
I played
gosh.
Terraria. And
Oh
I
my
didn't know
goodness.
that you weren't supposed to go in the dungeon. And
Before
I
you defeated
did.
Skeleton. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I
And
still run into that problem whenever I create a new world just to get like more money and whatnot.
mm-hmm.
Like I forget that I haven't defeated Skeletron in this world yet, and I just wander on into the dungeon, and then it's like I literally do the surprised Pikachu face as soon as I die.
Oh, I know.
Oh my gosh!
It's
But
very
yeah, the last sword
insane.
is either the Crimson Sword or
Or the
or the
corruption
Corruption
sword.
Sword, the other one, the weaker one actually. So yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Then you make a Knight's Edge, which is a really cool, strong sword. I think the strongest melee weapon in pre-hard mode.
yeah.
Um, and it's also a component for the Terra Blade. I think it's been a while since I played Terraria.
I mean, you're first supposed to actually get True Knight's Edge
Well, True
first
Knight's Edge, and
with the Broken Hero Sword, and then
yes,
like after that, you get to combine it with True Excalibur, and Excalibur is the sword you get after hard mode. After you defeat the mechanical bosses, get the hallowed ingots. I guess ingots, yeah.
yes,
Get the hallowed ingots. Craft that. I was about to say craft that B word. Anyway, craft that sword,
yes,
and combine it with the true. Sorry, not true. Combine it with the broken hero sword once again. Get true Excalibur. Combine true Excalibur with true Knight's Edge, and then you get the Terra Blade, which used
yes,
to be considered the best blade in Terraria.
yes. Used
Uh,
to.
and I guess it still could be considered the best blade in Terraria. And hear me out on this. Even though Zenith is still a thing, you only get it after you defeat the Moon Lord, and get I managed to get all the swords and like all the components for all the swords needed to craft in it.
Yeah.
Right. So right before that, the strongest sword is the Terrorblade, and it's like
Pretty good.
if not the
Pretty good.
best blade, it's at least the most helpful in a way.
Oh yeah, it's super. Even if you're not like if you're doing like a summoner playthrough, like it's
Yeah.
still useful.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of trivial information
A lot of trivial information.
about
Yeah.
why this is such a big deal. But
Oh, by the way, 30-minute mark.
yes.
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's not get too sexual, Mr. Deviant. You.
Yeah. I wouldn't survive 5 minutes in Russia without getting
Because
sent to the gulags.
oh
Anyway,
yes,
though. Yeah.
yes. The gulag. Um.
Get sent to the
So
gulag, sexual deviant.
yes.
Yes.
So where was I? Oh yeah. So again, it's the equivalent of throwing your diamonds in lava when you sell your item, because you can't, after you sell an item, you can't get it back.
Yeah, you
So
can't get it back unless you like actually realize your mistake and like get it back while the
yeah.
window is still open.
Oh yes.
So
But
yeah,
after that window's closed.
yeah, and I'm not sure if I've actually sold it or if I've just put it in a chest and like forgot about it.
Mm-hmm.
However, as far as I'm concerned, it is now out of my control.
Yeah.
And it is gone and it has disappeared, and I need to create another world and get the Muramasa all over again because gosh darn it. I mean, in
It's
a way,
annoying.
the Muramasa is like the hardest sword to get because it's not like the other swords you
You
get
can craft.
components to
Yeah.
craft them yourself. And like it's essentially like required for a world to have the components ready. Like as far as I'm concerned, there isn't a single world like you already get the corrupted like the corrupted ingots from defeating bosses and whatnot anyway. But there isn't a single world where there is absolutely no hellstone unless it's modded or if it's corrupted.
Yeah.
Like literally corrupted on
Right.
the file itself, yeah. So it's like Muramasa itself, on the other hand, is a spawn item instead of like an actual like a component item where you get to craft
Yeah.
the item instead of over it. Oh, the blade of grass also, you get to like go into the jungle, collect stings and
Yeah. Stingers.
jungle spores. Yeah.
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 Right.
Muramasa, on the other hand, is an item you get from chests in dungeons.
Yeah.
Which, much like other rare items such as the lava charm and the ice skates, isn't 100% guaranteed to be spawned
Right.
inside
Yeah.
the world. So people often like create new worlds to just get
Just to get one
certain
item.
items. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what pisses me off about that, actually, like I've looked up certain world seeds
Yeah.
to get like charms and whatnot, and it's often like expert either it's like expert mode.
Right.
This was like before I went into art mode and got like all my gear up.
Yeah.
By the way, like either it's expert mode or it's like it's like for previous versions, so they're outdated and the
Yes.
charm or the
Yes,
ice
yes.
skates are no longer there. And especially with the new Terra Spark boots, I can no longer get like the components I need to craft those, and it
Mhm.
pisses me off
Oh, I know.
because I want the Terra Spark boots.
Don't we all?
Don't we all? Yeah, true.
Yeah. Goodness.
Excuse me.
Yeah, that's why I've always been a fan of this is one of the particular reasons that I am such a fan of mods.
Yeah.
In that a while ago, especially like it first started in Minecraft, right? When I'm trying to remember, I think I died in the Nether, I think, and I was just so sad. Like, as a little 11-year-old would be if all of his stuff burned in the lava.
Oh
And I
my
remember
gosh.
after that day, as soon as like Minecraft
That day
released,
changed me forever.
it changed
When
me.
I fell into lava and lost all my items, I knew that vanilla Minecraft just didn't cut it anymore. I needed to get stronger.
Yes. I needed to become a different man.
I needed to change.
Minecraft changes people.
Oh gosh.
But I was so glad when they added the game rule of keeping inventory. Because after they added that, I've never looked back.
Mhm.
Which I know is technically cheating, but that's how I like it playing my game. I don't enjoy the constant fear of losing all
Yeah.
of your stuff by a creeper or
You
dying in
still
the lava.
lose
So
experience though, right?
no, you keep your experience.
No, you keep. Oh my
So
gosh.
it's basically cheating, but that's how I like to play. And I
That's
know
how it be
people
sometime.
people bash me about it, but that's how I do it. Right?
Boy. Yeah.
And the same thing with Terraria too. Like if that happened to me, I would have just spawned myself another Knight's Edge. In all honesty, like I wouldn't want to go through the effort of
Yeah.
making another sword if it was an honest mistake, right? Like if
Right.
I lost the Knight's Edge because I had to, like sacrifice it for something else, then obviously in
Oh
that
yeah.
case I wouldn't
Dude, I mean,
want
the
to.
only other instance where you get to like where you sacrifice another item is when you like upgrade to True Knight's Edge. So it's like, yeah.
Yeah. So
So there's no way to lose Knight's Edge unless you're a big old dum dum, just like I am.
yeah, you big
Yeah,
old dumb dumb.
big old dum dum. But
Yeah.
yeah, I do have full adamantite armor, and like
Nice. Getting up there.
good stuff, good
It is good
stuff,
stuff.
good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you're done with a vanilla playthrough, you should
Oh,
definitely do a modded playthrough.
I'm not too sure my computer can like
Oh, handle
not
mods.
comprehend, but more like
Mm-hmm.
handle the mods and whatnot.
Yeah.
So it's like I need to get a better computer probably before I move on to mods.
Yeah. We should do
So
a Terraria playthrough together.
dude, let's do it.
We're gonna do
Listen,
it.
I'm totally down to do anything. Okay, as long as it.
Anything? My goodness. I was thinking of Careless Whisper, but that works too.
Oh yeah, hold on. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I like the other one better because it's I don't know, it's just it feels better. You know what I'm
Does.
saying? Because
Does.
Careless Whisper is so outdone and this is just like more, jazzy,
Oh
feels
yeah.
good,
Yeah.
like and Careless Whisper it had I'm not too sure. It has like a pretty old timer, like
Yeah, it's very old timey.
yeah, like too old timey feel to it, old timey and outdone. Meanwhile, this one like thing, you hear the drum in the background and it's like it smooths you out, it loosens you. All right, no, this is getting out of hand.
And
Um,
we're I don't know what you're talking about. We're just arguing about which song is more
yeah, which song is more
sensual.
sensual? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
This is all it is. Yeah, yeah, but
Family friendly
yeah,
episode.
Careless Whisper is cool. Like Careless Whisper is fine in its own right. I
Yeah.
just prefer this one.
It's all good. It's just a
It's more
preference,
jazzy. It
right?
like gets me going more.
Oh yeah. Yeah, whatever gets you off, I guess, as they say.
I'm gonna slap you in the face. Oh my gosh. But Corona is stopping me from doing so because I care about you. I want to beat your little butt, but I want to do it in a way that's not gonna make you suffer long-lasting consequences. I just want to beat you up a little bit.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong about,
Yeah,
slapping some guys.
there you go.
Oh, that's right. But because I'm not allowed to
But
say the other
yeah, there you go.
word.
Yeah,
Despite,
the other,
all the other
the
things we have said.
donkey. Yeah.
Yes, the donkey.
Oh boy, r/politics is sending me notifications. What has the dump done now? All right.
Mr.
Oh yeah,
President.
we have a lot of content for the Can of Worms episode. I cannot wait.
Oh yes, and now that you're a political science major,
Oh yeah,
you've got a real
yeah.
politician in the works.
As soon as my major changed, I immediately became the subject matter expert.
Oh yeah, that's how
Yeah,
it works.
there you go. Yeah. Oh my
Are you
gosh.
are you planning on uh like actually moving into politics with your degree, or are you kind of just doing it
I have
just
no
for the
idea. I
sake
mean,
of
like, I'm
learning it?
just, yeah, I'm more doing for the sake of learning, more doing for the sake of you guys, because I want to actually be, more informed about what I'm doing.
Yeah,
But of course, I wouldn't like pick my major just because, some topics we're talking about are politics. That would be a bit overkill if I do say so myself. I
right.
just like, getting a degree. Oh boy, I just went full screen for a second there. Your face immediately became bigger, and I couldn't handle that because.
What they That's what
Okay,
happens when my face
yeah.
gets bigger. Just,
Anyway, though,
overwhelms people.
yeah, but like, I don't know. I guess getting a degree. I feel like getting a degree in political science is gonna help me in the future.
Yeah.
I might volunteer. I might advocate for a bunch of stuff. I might
Yeah, yeah.
if I, if running for a political office ever becomes like, a choice I am able to go through, and
Yeah.
people are open minded to elect a gosh darn idiot to office who's not rich, mind you.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
there you go. Important distinction.
Right.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm only an idiot because I'm self-loathing. Oh my gosh, I'm holding myself back.
Exactly.
Self-therapy.
Snap.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean,
Why can't I snap? There we go. Nice.
there you go.
Crispy.
Very
Oh,
crispy.
crispy.
Very crispy.
Crispy. We
Wow.
both drank water at the same time. Nice.
We're destined.
Well synchronized.
We are very well synchronized.
Gentlemen, synchronize your death watches. All right.
Is that a quote? Is that a reference I'm not getting?
It's from Expiration Date, the Team Fortress 2. This is a bucket. Dear God, there's more. No. That one.
I wish I knew. I'm
Oh my
familiar with Team
gosh.
Fortress 2,
It's
but
Team Fortress 2. Right.
I mean, I've played it. I don't want to say a lot of times,
Right.
but I have played it.
Yeah. Man, me too. You know what?
It was
Oh my gosh, Unasana, stop it.
all these notifications.
All these notifications. As soon as we start recording, now, mind you, like, all of a sudden, I'm just overwhelmed by notifications.
Yes, that's what
But
happens,
yeah,
right?
do watch Expiration Date, though. It's really funny and it's really awesome, honestly.
So
Like,
is it like a YouTube mini series or?
no, it's just a single, like, short film, I guess, with
Oh, okay.
all our favorite Team Fortress 2 characters.
Ah, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
there you go.
yes,
Not
yes.
sponsored, by the way.
Not
Not sponsored.
sponsored.
Dude, if we get sponsored by Valve, that's like an end goal right there. Like
Yeah,
that's the
that's the
plateau. That's the plateau.
be all end all.
Because isn't Valve like, hold on. Let me actually check something else. Steam.
Yeah, Valve owns Steam.
Yeah, dude, Valve. So if we get sponsored by Valve, we literally like that's it. Like that's
Yeah,
the
that's
podcast.
yeah. I mean, if you're sponsored by Valve, I mean the company that
Own Steam.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is the platform for like 90% of online games,
Yeah.
then that's pretty big.
Dude,
So,
our Lord Gabe.
yes,
Our
Gabe
Lord and
Newell.
Savior Gabe.
Yes.
Not only blesses us with discounts, now he blesses us with a sponsorship. Anyway, though, we're just this is like the version of this is like our very own version of like friends talking about their wet dreams to other friends. Like podcasts
Yes.
talking about sponsors that they want to have.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Um. But yeah, we're slowly approaching the 45-minute mark, by the way.
Yes.
We have like 20 seconds till the 45-minute mark. And I'm saying
That is
this now
correct.
because
That
I'm
is
probably going to
correct.
get distracted and, not say it super later on. My gosh.
Okay.
We should
Okay.
do a Terraria playthrough now that.
We
Oh my
should.
gosh, what is going on? Even Mac does it. Just uploaded a video. Oh my gosh.
My gosh.
And he never uploads videos. Literally, there are months between videos. Oh my goodness.
Wow. Today's just a very special day, I think.
Today.
It's
Like, it's not even my birthday. My gosh.
It
Yeah,
is
there you
not
go.
your birthday today.
You said it's in such a mean way. It is not your birthday today.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was on ASB. It's always my birthday.
Yeah, totes. People don't celebrate me every single second of every single day, then I would explode.
My
Literally.
God. That's like the bare minimum, isn't it?
Yeah, that is the bare minimum.
Like, oh my God.
Like,
Oh
I
my
need
God. Oh
people
my
to
God.
worship me. That's how I feed myself. I don't eat regular peasant food. I feed
Yeah.
off of compliments. Okay.
Oh my God. Like, you have to get fed off of compliments, because if you actually eat peasant food, it makes you do crazy things like poop. Like, oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
Oh my
who got
gosh.
time? Who got time for that?
Why would I want brown poop
Let's stop.
coming out of my two
No, I
cheeks?
regret this. I regret
Uh,
this. I regret this.
do you,
Stop.
Aaron?
I do. I
I've got
do.
no
I
boundaries.
am
So,
repenting right now. Yeah, you thought I was the crazy one among us? No,
no.
please.
It's
YouTube,
always,
I just called you YouTube. Oh my goodness. I am
I get that a
actually,
lot.
yeah, there you go. Neiman is YouTube.
Yeah, why do you think there's millions of videos in there? It's because of how big my brain is.
Yeah,
Every single fold is a
there you go.
10,000 videos.
10,000 videos. Yeah. Dude, oh my goodness. You thought I was like the crazy one among us. No, Neiman is unhinged.
Let me tell you, it's always you always got to watch out for the I don't want to say
The
silent ones. The
Neiman,
quiet ones are always listening is the best way
Neiman,
to
are
put
you
it.
describing yourself as the strong silent type right now?
Oh
Is
no
that
no
what's
no no
going
no!
on? Is that what's going on?
I'm not
Are we
likening
back in 8th
myself
grade,
to.
Neiman?
Uh, if only, right? Oh man,
If only, if only. Oh
I
my
would kill to
goodness.
be back in 8th grade. In all honesty, that was much a simpler time.
So simple. Dude, oh my goodness. Stop it. Cables. Hold on. There we go.
There you go.
I was trying to casually untangle a cable that was stuck right under my chair's wheel. But
Hmm.
anyway, you didn't need to know about that, audience. Shut up. Should have been
But now
listening.
you do. Now
But
you
now you do. Dude, that's why
Wow.
So
This.
a shadow just passed by my window. Am I
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ghost.
Anyway, it was probably the squirrel again. The
Ah,
gosh darn
yes, the
squirrel.
squirrel that was hanging on for dear life.
It wasn't hanging
Previous
on for
episode.
dear life, okay?
That's what it looked like.
It was doing a ninja hang. Okay? It literally had its its back legs were like hanging off from the wall, and it was like its arms were just hanging out, you know? Like it was like looking inside.
Yeah.
Okay? It was spying on me. The government's got me. All right.
That's what it was. That's
Yeah, there you
squirrels
go.
are used for
But yeah,
that. Yes.
I was talking about comics where the main character like travels back in time but keeps his like mental state. There's actually a comic about that, which is getting its own trailer on YouTube. Actually,
Interesting.
like I don't want to give away too much spoilers, but I started reading that like years ago, actually. My
Years
goodness.
ago. Like how many
Oh
years
yeah,
are we talking here?
I was like back in Turkey, and
Okay.
oh my gosh, okay. I can't even remember if I was in high school. No, I was fresh. It was my freshman year of high school.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, and I started. It's essentially about this like orange-haired fellow, and with like Chinese themed magical powers.
Okay.
Like, oh no, the story is Chinese themed, and
Gotcha.
people have like spiritual powers and like other stuff, and it's all very MMORPG ish, and without it being actually a game, which I really really appreciate. Like it doesn't have it doesn't say outright that people have stats and other stuff, because like shows and comics that make you want to feel like you're in a video game without explicitly telling you that you're in a video game, instead like making it seem like you're in a fantasy, like an original fantasy type of world, like type of setting.
Yeah.
I don't like those types of shows or comics. Okay, like it's so lazy. All right, coming like you could literally come up with a different way of measuring powers and like doing all this stuff that you're already doing while keeping it original if you just sat your ass down and just thought about it for like 5 minutes, 10 minutes maybe. Okay, like how can people be so unoriginal to use the same gosh darn leveling system and statistics that's being used in every single RPG game out there? And I don't want to start a rant, but gosh darn it, it's very infuriating. And
So
this comic doesn't use it, and I really appreciate that. And I don't know the name because it's been a while since I've read it.
so do you mean like when you so for clarification purposes, are you
Yeah,
referring to like when comics are using like, oh my gosh, his speed levels are so fast, like or something along
not
that sort?
not like that. More of a I appreciated when people come up with different names, I guess, for different categories of like, because usually people are real suckers for magic most of the time,
Right,
and
right.
especially in characters where the main character is from our world, and he transfers to another world, and all of a
Yeah,
sudden he's got magic powers that came out of nowhere, and he's
yeah,
really good at it, even though there's no explanation of how he got it. It's just a matter of, oh, he's really smart considering the current education levels of our world, and
yeah.
it's really lazy. And the measurements of the magic level, for example, are really
Gotcha,
freaking lazy. Like, oh, his
gotcha.
statistics are, it literally uses the same like like pentagon shape that like uses the you know what I'm talking about, right? Like the more the pentagon is filled up
Yes,
in a certain
yes,
corner, the
yes.
more like strength they
Gotcha.
have in that specific category.
Okay.
Like you get what I'm
Yeah.
talking about, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's the image that's literally used for every single isekai anime out there, and it pisses me off so much. Okay, like
So
yeah,
so you would prefer if they had invented then a new form of
right. I guess
measuring,
here's what I'm trying to say, right? Like loosening up the rules and restrictions for magic, that
loosening
that
up the rules and restrictions for magic. Is that what you said?
yeah, that like that's kind of like giving it less of an explanation. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, Lord of the Rings, right?
Right.
We know that Gandalf is a wizard. Like, spoilers, by the way, in case you didn't watch that movie, you gosh darn uncultured swine.
I know.
Yeah, it's
Continue.
literally a cinematic masterpiece. Go watch it.
It is.
Anyway,
It's very
though,
long, but
yeah.
worth
If
it.
it turns
It's worth
out
it.
that a close friend of ours hasn't watched it, and we get like a an angry text, we get to beat them up, right? Like that's the rule.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah,
That's just an
definitely.
unspoken rule
Oh
that
yeah. So yeah, hold on.
Gandalf, right?
Yeah, I was just taking a swig out of my water, delicious water. Hydrate, y'all. Um. So yeah, Gandalf. We know he's a wizard because of he literally says it. A wizard arrives precisely when he means to. Like he refers to himself as a wizard. We see him do a bunch of magic shredongles with fireworks and whatnot,
Yes.
right? He's not at all surprised with Bilbo's sudden disappearance, sudden invisibility, because like he's used to magic,
Yes.
like, right?
Right.
And we see him do magic with the shadowy stuff, like Bilbo Baggins, don't take me for some petty conjurer of tricks. I'm not trying to harm you. I'm trying to help you. Like that. We
Yes.
see
Yeah.
that scene, and it doesn't give us a full on explanation. It doesn't you know give us the exposition that most stuff out there gives us. Like, oh my goodness, how did they do that? Like
Yes.
we
Yes.
don't
Yes.
we don't
Yes.
get we don't get that smart guy explaining our new protagonist how
Yeah.
magic works monologue.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like I really do not appreciate when that happens. Like actually here's how it happens. And it's always the
Yes. Yes.
same
Yes.
mannerism too.
Okay. Now I understand
Yeah.
where you're coming from. Yeah. Um, yeah. So yes, actually, I do agree with that. I think
I'm
uh,
sorry, this has been rambling so far,
that's
and
okay.
now
That's
it's
okay.
actually managing to paint a full picture. Sorry about
Yeah.
that.
No, that's okay. I understand now.
Right.
Now that it has been clarified, and I will say, yes, I do agree. I think the example, off the top of my head that I was thinking of, just because it's so recent that we talked about, is Avatar, right? I
Mm-hmm.
mean, the bending isn't really greatly explained because they put more emphasis on the plot and
Mm-hmm.
the characters. So I mean, they
Yeah.
had little tiny tidbits and like singular episodes where they kind of talked about it,
Yeah.
but it wasn't really the focus,
Yeah.
which I think
And it was less of it was less exposition and more exposition hid into a training montage, and it
yes,
was done so
exactly,
naturally too. So
yeah.
it actually worked then.
Hmm. So
Yeah.
so actually, then, yeah, one of my things with anime, I guess, or things I dislike about anime, is actually that very fact of it's constant. There hasn't been a lot of anime that I've watched that hasn't been very. Maybe it's because of the anime I'm watching. I could be wrong, right? I haven't seen you know, a lot of anime,
Right.
but a lot of anime that I have seen has been very expositional, especially in like fighting anime, right?
Oh yeah.
Like I mean, in
Oh
like
yeah.
take Naruto for example, right? I mean, there's always, and really in any fighting anime, in any shonen, right? There's
Yeah.
just always talking during the fighting scenes, whether it be some people watching from the side because for some reason there's
Yeah.
always
For
some guy
some reason,
watching the
there's a
fight.
tournament all of a sudden with
Yeah,
really high stakes, with no explanation on how we got there. It's
yeah,
just a tournament with really high stakes. Just go with it. Shut up.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. And there's always some guy on the side like explaining what's happening, or like, oh my gosh, like that was such a strong move and whatnot.
Yeah.
And so on that end, that's where I do think American shows tend to do this better, I think, than
Right.
anime does, in my personal opinion. But that's not to say, anime's bad, right? I still love anime, but
Right.
that's just one of the things I dislike about anime. It's how expositional it is.
Here's the
Um,
thing. I agree with you. However, I also disagree with you because
Great.
here's what American shows do. Okay, in order to here's what writers often do, right? In order to avoid direct like exposition, they often like leave it out and kind of think to themselves, oh, I'm just going to add this later on, more naturally. However, when they do add it, they often like get it wrong just a bit, and the audience doesn't understand that it's exposition. And as far as the audience is concerned, these are just two himbos just talking about random stuff about the world that they don't know about in the first place. So American shows go ahead and just like essentially leave the audience in the dark, so the audience doesn't know what's going on. And the problem with that one is the American shows don't have the showmanship and the bright colors and the like the animation and all the other crazy
mm-hmm.
stuff that anime has to keep the audience
Engaged.
entertained.
Yeah.
And so the audience just like they just fall out,
Yeah.
like like they just lose focus and just stop watching the show, right?
Yeah.
In anime, it's the opposite problem. They do have the showmanship and they do have the bright, flashy colors and the awesome fight scenes and whatnot.
Yes.
However, as we've said before, the exposition is really on the nose, and the systems used are really lazy and really, really unoriginal.
Yeah.
And like
Yes.
it's
Absolutely.
usually in like shonen anime, and shonen anime is literally a genre where it's like it's like its most accurate definition, I guess, is like um a show where the audience can relate to the main character and therefore imagine, like, picture themselves inside of the show.
Yeah.
That's why they're like really on the nose expositions, because the audience has to know what's going on all the time or else they disconnect. They like the goal of the show is not met, therefore the audience disconnects, therefore the show is a bust.
Yeah.
And like that's why most of these, like, crappy anime often have one seasons, even though like the season finale had like a, you know oh, we're gonna come back next time, haha, the adventure continues, haha, the
Yeah.
bad guy
Yeah.
isn't dead yet and there's a stronger, more powerful bad guy on the way, but that's fine because of the second season, and the second season never shows up. Also, 1 hour mark about a minute ago. Dab.
Oh yes. 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 Yes.
Dab, dab, dab.
Dab. Dab. Dab.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um. Wow. I totally just lost my train of thought.
For once, my
Oh yes,
train of
that's
thought
right.
was on. Yay!
Yay. Um.
Consistent thinking.
Huzzah. Yes. Yeah, that's why I'm still trying to find particularly good
Anime.
I don't want to say good anime just in general, because I have seen good anime, right?
Yeah.
I guess good fighting anime that isn't very, exhibitional. I
Good
think,
shonen anime.
yeah, from what I
Gotcha.
remember, I think Demon Slayer does a pretty good job of
I think we have already talked about Demon Slayer. However, the name doesn't spark a memory inside of me. Hold on.
the Japanese
Kimetsu no
name.
Yaiba?
Yes, that is.
Hold on.
Yes,
Let me see.
the,
Manga series. Oh boy. Oh, this one.
yes.
With the little sister, right.
Yeah, with the thing in her mouth, because if she
Yes.
takes it off, she becomes a demon.
I guess it's
So
for her to bite into, I guess.
yes,
Like more of a chuto, I guess. Oh gosh.
yeah. There have been some interesting things that have spawned from that show, but
We're not
from what
getting
I
into that.
yeah, from what I remember of that show, they mostly focused on characterization,
Right.
which was really good and well done.
Mm-hmm.
And mostly focused on dialogue that was pretty natural, which was really nice. And it wasn't, in every fight, they weren't really explaining, how the fighting system worked. They were kind of
Yeah.
explaining how they were emotionally feeling, and also how, trying to think of, which I did. I mean, I guess one of my things about the show is that some of the fight scenes were kind of a little bit explainy, with like, how am I going to defeat this powerful enemy? But for the most part, they were pretty good with, you know, having, productive dialogue.
Yeah.
And another thing too, I think it's probably, in my opinion, one of the most well animated series out there, as of right now, at least. I think it's very gorgeous to look at. And I think, just as a general rule of thumb, I think really good anime can have some of the best animations, in my opinion, like on the planet. Like they have,
Right.
like I just finished watching Violet Evergarden recently, which is another
Oh, yeah.
anime on Netflix, and probably one of the most visually stunning shows I've ever seen. Like period. Like in anything
yeah.
I've seen, it's one of
Dude.
the most visually stunning, and that's
Dude,
something anime offers.
animation allows creators to do crazy things, and I appreciate it so much.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
just So yeah.
Yeah, and I
The
think
magic
Demon Slayer
system,
is probably
yeah.
sorry, the really quick.
No, go, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I was just gonna say I think Demon Slayer is the shonen equivalent of the epitome of gorgeously animated anime.
Right. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude,
Sorry, I interrupted what you
no,
were trying to
dude.
say.
It's how dare you interrupt me in a podcast where we were supposed to be talking? All right. But here's the magic system that I want, right? All right, like really loose, okay? First of all, very loose definitions and loose rules. All
Okay.
right? Like for example, oh, you're not allowed to do the like there should be consequences, of course. Like if you're dealing with fire magic, you should be allowed to burn your skin off if you're not careful. But
Yeah.
like that's not what I'm saying. I'm more like restrictions, like oh, you're not allowed to do that unless you hit level 3 in magic artificery. Like oh, you're not allowed to do that before you start up in thaumaturgical practices, like that kind of boring, boring, unoriginal, just restrictions that are just lazy and thrown in there for flavor, right? Like that's not what I want. Okay, if there are restrictions, okay, it should be the character itself himself. All right, like for example, he's not like able to spawn a firebolt inside his hand because he's afraid of spawning that firebolt. Like he want like the the surface of his mind wants to be able to spawn the firebolt, but because of a past trauma, he can't because he
Mm.
doesn't actually want to. Like
Wow, it sounds
he
like you're
doesn't wants to
describing the
face that.
plot of Avatar. Hmm.
No, 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 no,
Are we not going to talk about Avatar again in our last like 5 minutes of the podcast?
no. But yeah, like for example, or like for example, like they can heat up air and spawn a firebolt, but they can't,
Control it.
deheat air. They can't
Oh yeah.
deheat air.
Yeah,
Like
this is literally the plot of Avatar. Sorry. I was just
what?
thinking, yeah,
No,
in one.
no, it's not.
It is.
They literally like open and close fire like it's a gosh darn AC or something like that.
No, 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 but I mean, like, that's what Aang had to face. Like, he couldn't, like, he technically could firebend, but he didn't because he burned Katara's hands.
Well, yeah, but he didn't firebend after that because
Right,
he didn't want to. All right?
right,
Like he didn't want to, period. All right?
right.
What I'm saying is like our character wants to, but they can't because of like deeply embedded trauma. Or like they can't because they can't
Yeah, right,
visualize it.
right,
They can't heat
right.
up, I guess.
Yes,
All
I
right?
get what you're saying.
You kind of get what I'm saying, right? Like for
Yeah,
example, if someone manages to like both heat up and deheat at the same time, like they are able to control both ice and fire at the same time,
yes,
like that's seen as a big boy status, I guess. You know,
yes,
right? It's more fueled by imagination rather than loose definitions of mana and like unoriginal shenaniganery that's mostly
yes.
used in the isekai anime. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah. I think the most important thing in really any fighting anime, in terms of growth, is to tie the magic system and using the rules of the magic system, tie that to the character's growth.
Yeah,
And it is the best way to do it. Um,
yeah.
and I'm trying to think of an example where they do this. Um, but I mean, I hate to, like, I don't want to bring up Avatar again just because it's always our go-to example.
Yeah,
Um, but I'm trying to think of another one. But that's basically the premise of what I'm trying to say
right.
of, tying to, using the Aang example, right? I mean, he technically could fireband, but then chose not to because of the fact that he, basically
he,
almost killed
yeah,
Katara and whatnot. So he, it's one of those things where we kind of knew there was like something deeper going on, and we knew, in season 1 at least, that he was this arrogant
yeah,
kid. who just wanted to, learn firebending really
Goofy
quick.
kid.
Cool. Yeah, really goofy. And we saw it, and as we saw, right, we saw that he was too immature, not ready, not mentally in the space to control such a wild element. So
Wait. Oh my gosh, I just figured it out. The reason most of these isekai anime have just an arbitrary power up to the main characters without any kind of explanation on how they got it is because most people who watch these kinds of anime unironically and like enjoy it
our
don't
children.
want to work.
Oh.
Like they just want to gain the magic powers without putting in the work inside. Because if they actually do put in the work to get the magic powers, then that's going to be all boring and it's going to be work. And they're there to relate to the main character, not get reminded of real life stuff like training or education or working. Oh my goodness! Wait, it's kind of making sense now. The appeal is because it's so easy. Oh my gosh!
I do see what you're
Okay,
saying. I do see what you're
right.
saying. Yeah.
And this is not like like a the corporatist response of these isekai anime are popular because people don't want to work anymore and like that. No,
Yeah.
that's not what's going on. Like,
Oh yes. Yes,
yeah.
yes, yes. I mean, yeah, I mean, I'd have to do more research into this, but I wonder sometimes if the reason I'm not liking anime is because I'm not the intended demographic.
Yeah,
Right? Because I think about Avatar, right? And I think about why I like Avatar now and why a child might like Avatar, right?
right,
Because those two reasons might be completely different. But I recognize that Avatar is a children's show, and so they're using different techniques to appeal to a different audience, and so
right.
it may or may not appeal to me, as an adult, right? And I think about
Hell
watching
no, it
Community,
still
for example.
appeals to me.
Well, yeah, no, no. I mean, I not to say that it doesn't appeal, but I'm saying
Right.
like it. I think about
Avatar has no appeal. Let me tell you.
uh, yeah. If you say
Yeah,
that, I'm gonna beat
that's
you
why
up.
we talk about it every single episode.
That's right. Um, but I think about like a Community, for example, which is a show I'm watching right now,
Right.
which is an adult show, right, and just packed with references, right.
Oh yeah.
Um, it doesn't click with a child,
Yeah.
right? And so I think, taking this argument and applying to anime, right? I'm thinking, and I still need to do more research on this,
Yeah.
but I think about, what is the intended demographic of this anime? Because sometimes anime is just intended for kids, right? Like I watched like Pokemon, for example, right? I used to
Right.
watch Pokemon every Saturday
I
morning,
wanna be
right?
the very best. Okay, let's not.
um,
Before we get sued.
before we get to not
Yeah.
sponsored.
Not sponsored.
Um,
Yeah.
but I was watching that, and as I rewatch it now, it's very much like you've said, it's very expositional, very Ash has been the same guy for like 10 years, also
Yeah.
10 years old for 10 years, which is kind of crazy.
Also, he keeps losing tournaments.
Loses every tournament, but apparently is like, oh, but it's growth to my non-existing character. But then I think about what the intended demographic is,
Every
which
time I
is,
lose a tournament, I get 5 years and younger.
yes, exactly, that's how I
Oh
stay so
gosh.
young.
Yeah,
It's a
there you go.
secret to immortality.
10 years old for 10 years. What do you think is going on?
Yeah, it's
I age back a single year every time I lose. There we go.
exactly. So after that's piled up,
Yeah.
exactly. So
I'm starting to
I
get a headache.
yeah,
My
I'll
gosh.
start wrapping up.
Yeah.
I was just going to finish by saying, and then I remind myself of the intended demographic of Pokemon, which is Ash's age, 10-year-olds, and
Yeah.
people around that age. So I guess what I'm trying to say is then, depending on the demographic of the show, I am somewhat more or less forgiving of certain techniques used. Now, that's not to say that,
Forgiving.
that's not to say
I cannot forgive the crimes that Pokemon has done.
go to jail, Pokemon.
Go to horny jail.
Horny jail? Is that what you say?
It's a reference to something. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's a meme. It's a meme. It's a meme. It's a meme.
Okay, Aaron, whatever you say.
I have canned these worms. Now I have to lie in them. Anyway.
Additionally.
Excuse me.
You are excused.
Oh.
I'm free. Free is bad. Another reference.
I have no idea. I just listen.
Sure
I'm in
is.
autopilot right now. Okay, my mind feels like it's being drilled through. Right. I have no idea if I'm making a reference or if this is just me being an organic dum-dum.
Or both. Could be both.
Or both. Could be both. Yeah.
Yeah. And to conclude,
yeah,
because I think our friend Aaron here is going slightly senile.
Shut
to
up.
conclude,
youngster.
To conclude,
they don't make shows like they used to.
I know, right? But again, using the example of Avatar, it's a well done. I know it's annoying. It's annoying at this point, but it's just so fresh and just the show I know the most well.
Listen, our podcast has turned from just us being chaotic dum-dums together to a show where we talk about Avatar one episode and politics the other, and this is just on repeat.
Rinse and repeat.
There you go. It's not our fault that Avatar is a good show and politics are literally cracking and crumbling around us right about now.
Yes. Yeah. Maybe we just need to watch more shows.
Maybe.
To talk about.
Who knows?
Yeah. I mean,
maybe we just need to do a Terraria playthrough.
Maybe we should.
Yeah. Maybe we should. But it's supposed to be modded because my computer, once again, can't handle it. I know it can handle multiplayer, but I don't want to try mod it.
Yeah, mod is rough. If you don't have a good computer, it's pretty rough.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
In multiplayer alone, it already, it already sounds like my AC sounding right now, except louder. But, with mods, I'm pretty sure it would, melt right through my table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's wildfire season, too, so... oh, gosh.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Yep, this is where the episode ends.
Yeah. And with that,
thanks
for listening to our episode. This has been the Save It for the podcast. Again, I'm Neiman. I was joined today by Aaron, who is now old, crazy, and out of his mind.
I was always like that. But now my balls are wrinkly.
Okay, now we're getting to the TMI zone.
No, I mean my volleyballs. They haven't been aired out for so long.
Okay, Mr. Batum. Okay, whatever you say.
Do not spoil my name by speaking it with your unworthy lips.
My
you
unworthy
American.
Lips? Oh, I know. I'm so American.
Oh my gosh, how do you spell your name? Is it Erin or Ron? I literally run into that problem all the time. My name's Aaron. That's not the conversation would turn to oh yeah, that's actually not how you say my name. It's actually Aaron, but nobody can say it, so I just go by Aaron. How do you say that? Oh my gosh, this is Aaron. I have heard the most inaccurate pronunciations. But anyway, Please end the episode.
Yeah. Well, thanks for listening. Send us questions, so we can answer them. Any question at all, any question you want.
And the episode.
Yes. I was trying to understand what that reference was, but now I get it. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
End the episode. This is the outro song. End the episode.
Oh my lord. Okay. Thanks for listening.